I just played Power Wash Simulator 2 on the Nintendo Switch 2 for like 40 minutes. I have some thoughts that I want to share with you about this game. I don't know why I decided to play this game today and make a video so late on it, but I just thought it was fun. I forgot it was coming out. So let's talk about it. My second channel is for this goofy stuff. So let's talk about probably the quirkiest game on the Switch 2 so far that is exclusively a Switch 2 game. So this is Power Wash Simulator 2. There was a Power Wash Simulator 1 on the Switch 1, and I played it lots, except there were a lot of issues with the Switch 1 version of the game. For example, there was no local split screen, it ran at 30 frames per second, and it just didn't look legit. Like, it didn't feel like I was actually playing a Power Wash Simulator. It felt like I was just kind of spraying random stuff at random stuff, you know what I mean? But now with Power Wash Simulator 2 on the Switch 2, with these ultra epic graphics, it finally feels different. I finally feel like I'm Power Wash simulating. Now, the overall gameplay and everything that this game does feels very similar to Power Wash Simulator 1. In fact, if you booted up this game without me knowing it was Power Wash Simulator 2, I probably wouldn't have noticed. I would have just thought it was a Switch 2 edition of Power Wash Simulator 1. But no, this is a full new game. They've upgraded the UI, they've added a new little home base for you, and obviously they've upgraded the graphics for the Nintendo Switch 2 version of the game. I hate to say it, but also all the DLC is gone. I bought the SpongeBob DLC on Power Wash Simulator 1, and yeah, it's just not here anymore. It just doesn't exist. And from what I know, I can't use all my costumes or anything from Power Wash Simulator 1. But it is what it is. I still like the newness of it. I like how they completely reworked the game. You can still change your washing style, you know, your different nozzles. You can change your outfit. You can even change your van, how your van looks. You can add furniture to your home base. You can buy new washer equipment, cosmetics, all from the money you've collected during these little washing sessions. Now, I've only really washed the van, but I already got a few very interesting opinions, like the water. I gotta just say, the water coming out of the actual nozzle looks so much better. It looks so much cleaner. It actually looks like water spraying out. Now, unlike the Xbox and the PlayStation version or like a high-end PC, there's not the same like water stream spewing down after I hit something, which kind of sucks. Maybe that was a little too graphically intense for the Nintendo Switch 2, but the water itself looks pretty good. The effects from it, honestly, that's a win. Now, the graphics in general aren't like, hey, you know, the greatest. Textures are still pretty flat. The lighting is not insane and everything feels a little bit stiff, but like for a Power Wash Simulator, it's good enough. Really doesn't matter in the grand scope of things. I usually frame these third-party Nintendo Switch 2 reviews as how broken are they on the Nintendo Switch 2, but honestly, this just isn't broken. There's nothing I can say that's broken about it. As I said earlier, I like how they added split screen co-op. In the very first one, you could do online co-op, but you couldn't do split screen, like with the same person in the room. I think you could on current gen consoles, but not on the Switch 1. Thankfully here now on the Switch 2, you can do local split screen, which means that I can play with my wife. Now we can both power wash together. I honestly don't know how we made it this long without that. I'm just kidding. But let's say you don't have anyone to play with in person. You can also share your progress in online play. If you both finish a job in co-op, it counts in your solo career, which is so epic. There's of course additional tools, and there's more to clean. There's improved soaps and equipment and all that stuff. Another really crazy thing about this game is the fact that it launched at only $25. $25! This is insane. That's like so cheap compared to, you know, every other game that exists. There are some other like less pricey games, but the fact that this is $25, that's pretty good. I mean, it's a Power Wash Simulator, so I expect it not to be, but this is a quality simulator compared to other random rushed simulator games like Home Renovation Simulator or whatever that's called, or Train Simulator. Like those ones are actually trash. This one is pretty good for $25, high quality. It's a good time. I would say really my only issue with this game is the controls. I'm still so confused on some of how the controls work. Like they just don't seem very intuitive. I don't even know. They're not great. They're not horrible. They do the trick. And always finding that last speck of dirt in a game is pretty difficult. You can click the R3 button to have it flash and tell you where the screen is. So, I mean, it's not super hard. The controls are really my biggest issue with it. This game is really just one of those games that you sit down, you listen to a podcast, and you just spray the day away. It is a zero brain functioning game. You do not need to use your brain. I guess my only other issue with the Switch 2 version itself is the fact that they're not utilizing the Switch 2 hardware that much. Like, there's no gyro. I think gyro wasn't in the initial launch of the Switch 1 version of Power Wash Simulator, and then they added it via an update. So it's kind of weird that they brought out Power Wash Simulator 2 for the Nintendo Switch 2 and they didn't add gyro. The most confusing part about it, though, is the fact that there's no mouse mode. Like, that's crazy. Why is there no mouse mode in this game? But other than that, it's solid for 25 bucks. I almost guarantee it's going to go on sale pretty soon, so maybe wait for a sale. And that's my Power Wash Simulator 2 review. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like Power Wash Simulator 2 as well. Have a good rest of your day. See you later.